So, if you're really unfamiliar with the game, what we're looking at here is our barracks, in which we have a military squad constantly training. They're sparring with one another. That's the clanking and clacking you hear. To be fair, this will be now nearly my, let's see, we're, what, 7 short of 24 hours? So, what, hour 17 in a row of just raw play, not counting any setup or pre-play configuration sorts of stuff that I did last night. I have a single fort in one world. And I would second all of what Cube Juggler is suggesting there. All of those are wonderful resources for learning the game. To be perfectly frank, a combination of the wiki and a little bit of trial and error was 90% of what I needed to get over the hump. The game, however, does deserve its rather impressive reputation for being somewhat head-crushing because there's always more to learn, always new techniques to do things. Alright, let's get some trading done. Everything we bought from them in less than 1 bin worth of mugs. Sad. Okay, well, that was fun while it lasted. Let's put our stuff back in the bins where it belongs. All this pending stuff can go back to the storage. There's no point in dragging it all out if they don't have anything that will actually make it worth buying. Yeah, I'm afraid jumping in at hour 17, you've missed pretty much all of the setup of all of these things we've done all along the way. So the reason why this fort looks the way it does at each step along the way has been omitted from your experience. Yep, it'll be on YouTube. It'll go up. Keep in mind, guys, I'm probably not going to throw it up right as soon as I get done with it. Come when I knock off this morning, I'm probably going to go put my face down in a pillow for a while. Who knows? Maybe I'll knock off from Dwarf Fortress and stream a little bit of Cryptark or something for a bit. Before I finally turn in. Alright, so have we finished digging out that trench yet? Okay, good. That will mean that they will stop from causing themselves some problems, which is good. We're going to be taming the ospreys. I'm building a taming area now as we speak, specifically for that purpose. The buzzards, on the other hand, we will butcher. Nah, I'm not keeping the buzzards. And what was the other thing we got? A grizzly bear. Yeah, we got 2 males, and I'm going to butcher one of those for meat. Frankly, we're going to catch so many buzzards at that point, I'm not sure it will matter. We've already caught 3 of them. Just butchering them as they come in, basically. And that's only off the one patch of cage traps. What was it? Did we embark in a marsh, I think? It was a marsh. The other dwarf said I was daft to build a castle in a swamp. I believe that said something along those lines when we embarked. But we crossed over a couple biomes. You'd have to go back and look at the pre-embark video from the last night. I forget exactly which biomes we're in. I guess we could pull Legends Viewer up and they tell us. Hang on, let me pause this for a moment and see if Legends Viewer actually reports our biome. No, it doesn't seem to tell us where we founded it, per se. I was kind of hoping we would get more information about the area there. Did I miss something? I was hoping it would give us a link to the region, perhaps. I was hoping it would give us something there. It doesn't look like it's going to. No, I'm afraid it doesn't. I want to say it was a marsh. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell me what the biome is here. That's a shame. No, I think we would have to pop out in... Nope, that's not going to help us. Okay, never mind. Worth a shot. There's a few ponds. It's just the local site just didn't have many ponds is all. It wasn't hard to find a river to embark on. Dodoc will start serving people drinks. Well, here goes nothing. If this works according to plan, some folks should come along, pump this pond dry after this guy gets chopped down out of the tree and falls in. So, here goes. So far, no ghost. Please excuse us while we relocate your rotting corpse into the bottom of a pond. And our hapless peon thuds to the bottom of the pond. Oh, what happened to the corpse? I mean, if this is the corpse, then... Ah, he's content being near a waterfall all of a sudden. Huh. Did they snag the corpse and bury him already? Huh. Okay. I'll take it. All these people rescuing the gear from the bottom of the pond are getting waterfall happiness from being around the pond constantly splashing back in on itself. So, yay there, I guess. Nah, I don't think it works that way, and even if it does, I'm not going to worry about it too much. Looks like river and water to me. The murky pool has just regular water in it. with dwarf blood, no less. So, you know, there's that too. We must have snagged that dude and buried him before I even realized he was down. No, this is the dude that we need to put down here, Melville. There's his partial right there. Now where is it? It is located right there, it says. Only I don't see it right there. Do you? And I don't for a moment think that that one depth water is actually hiding it. There, somebody come along and snagged him. There he goes. And they'll get him buried and Mr. Ghost will be put to rest and that will be that. Natural selection, I say. Natural selection. So we're not quite sure. Somehow he managed to run all the way from. Okay, so we're based right here. This is our base. Our wagon was actually down here. So he managed somehow to go from there without this bridge being here, because this was built after he died. He managed to run all the way up here, cross the river, and get himself into a tree above a pond on the wrong side of the river somehow. And there promptly get stuck and dehydrate himself to death. He could have jumped out of the tree and landed in the pond and survived. He could have jumped out of the tree and landed on the ground and survived. He's one floor up. And if he can climb the tree up, why the hell can't he climb the tree down? It's not a cat. Doesn't have to worry about his claws only going one direction, you know? It was reasonably early on. I'm not sure how he got across the river. Even if he was running, I don't understand why he would run clear up into this corner and then darted across the river, and then somehow, after he crossed the river, gone back south immediately and gotten himself into a tree. Made no sense. I couldn't figure out how the pathing on that one would have worked, because, I mean, if he was running from a kobold or something, when the kobold stepped off the map, he would have stopped running south. He wouldn't have needed to run around the pond and up into the tree. And nothing was there to chase him. We haven't been sieged yet. The kobolds haven't sent an attack force. It's just been a couple of thieves. So, I'm not sure what got him into the tree. I'm not sure how he got there. Frustrating, I suppose, but, you know, what are you going to do? I've had a few. I had a few forts ago where, like I said, in an older version, where zombies on ground level managed to dodge onto the top of a wall, and so suddenly they've jumped a story up into the air and landed on top of the wall, and now there's no way for me to get them down. My civilians won't build anything near them in order for me to get up there, to get to them. And I can't get my civilians to go out of the fortress to gather the wood and other materials I would need to make the crossbows I might theoretically shoot them down with. It thrashed my fort. By the time I could finally get out from under it, I was getting slaughtered. I said, well, that was fun. Love how they glitched up there. Yeah, I mean, by the time we figured out he had a problem, he was dead. I have no idea how he got across the river and up into the tree. I mean, at points during the seasons, this will get low, and you can theoretically cross it, but why would he have crossed over and then doubled back into the tree? It's the tree part that just doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I'm not worried about it. It's no big deal. And we will disassemble our pumps now that they have served their purpose and Melville's been put to rest. At the moment, alfalfa, rope reeds, radishes, potatoes. We're doing it seasonally, so it's a rotation of stuff. I'm not sure why it's giving me both. Very clearly, it was at one point below ground, but I've excavated that and covered it all in. So that entire crop plot, as you can see, is clearly inside the bounds of that where that would have been. You know, it's definitely a surface plot now. Put K over it, you can see the whole thing. Well, for some reason, that one section is dark and didn't get updated. But yet, right up above it, you can clearly see it was excavated and rebuilt. How about that? At least it should have been. That may be why. Looks like there's one tile that didn't get properly uncovered. Maybe two tiles? No, just one. So there's a tile right there that didn't get updated to light for whatever reason. So I need to clear it out and make sure that it's not... Make sure that it did get excavated properly. It's not a bridge, it's actually a floor. All of these are constructions. I have to disassemble it. I normally don't do it with a bridge. Constructions are impervious to any attack, and therefore I don't have to worry about something disassembling them or having my bridge try to open when there's something standing on it or under it that will destroy it. No, just floors. Done. Finished. The resources required are a little greater. You have to, put one unit into whatever one tile. So this is like, 25 instead of 8, maybe, or 2. Yep, I can just take that one plate off, and if it's been excavated properly, there won't be anything under it. It'll be clear all the way down to the ground, and if it hasn't, there'll be something soil-wise underneath it, and I'll be able to excavate it and then rebuild the floor. It's possible I caught it before the excavation finished and didn't realize it. But that's always why, if you're getting both, there's always got to be a spot where I've never seen a case yet, and that's yet another case of it, where you've exposed part of it to sun and part of it not to sun, and so it thinks it can do both, and it can't. Well, see, looky there. Right here, I've cleared it out, and there's clearly something there. So, furrowed sandy loam, that's definitely not the stuff that's underneath it here. That's farm plot, and so either that's text will be text going there. Let's see if we can. No, see that's not. Yeah, that's hollow, so it definitely got mined out. Oh, maybe it didn't. Maybe I just didn't designate it properly. Okay. Helps if I'm not a stupid when I do it. Alright, so. Yeah, basically that's what we're doing here. Alright, so a weremouse. Now that's awesome. So what are we going to do here, guys? It's real simple. We're going to pull ourselves back inside. And then we're going to try and trap him by luring him into the cage traps if we can. So here's how we're going to do that. Well, whoever that is just got eaten. Well, that solves that little problem, doesn't it? Okay, who was it that got munched? Oh, random guy, ton something or other. Tun was a performer. Tun is no longer performing as anything other than a statue. And now that he's transformed back, he is harmless and everybody can go on their merry way. Yay! Yay. Yeah, he's probably untrappable. That's okay. I'm not worried about trapping him. I'll let him get out of here. I was thinking maybe we might be able to bait him into the cage traps, but I'm not going to worry about it. He caught somebody outdoors and retransformed, so that problem is resolved. Someone will snag the corpse and bury it here in a minute. Or maybe just bury the parts one at a time. I'm not sure which, but, you know, whatever. They'll figure it out. Okay, now that that's been done. And now that says outside light and above ground, but once it's closed in, it'll say inside light and above ground. And because it's light and above ground, it can grow crops. So, yeah. Same problem with this one. There's a square here that didn't get done. Got killed, got cut off early. Hopes of a better life, and the likelihood is that you're going to be devoured by whatever happens to be roaming around the map at the time. Okay, I'm going to step away for just a second. Kind of let them go on autopilot for a moment. Hey, if you can't stand a nice cool white, turn your brightness down. Because frankly, you're going to see me on Therapist routinely as I'm adjusting labors. Uh-oh, somebody is very unhappy here. What's going on with this? Hold up, hold up. Oh, that's an equipment marker. Oh, phew. I thought, why is someone that unhappy? Holy hell, what's going on? Doesn't look like there's a whole lot here I really care about. A couple siege engineers, that might not be bad to have. And now the crossbow dwarves are a full squad. Yeah, I've noticed that moods don't seem to swing nearly like they used to. Not to just more stable, but they are. It's hard to push them out of the neutral range much at all. Realistically, at this point, we're cranking out lavish meals and lavish booze, and everybody's sitting in a great dining room. Not the best dining room, but a great dining room, literally. Um, at least I don't think it's the royal one. Let me double check here. So let's zoom to that. So no, this is a royal dining room where everybody's dining in because of all the artifacts we've now built up in this. And yet, this would have had people just head over heels to the moon in the old versions, and now it's just barely pushing them into the, well, I'm sort of kind of okay right now, thanks category. It seems like it's really hard to keep them pushed away from the neutral point, if you will. hard to sustain a high, hard to see, and the lows don't seem to stick around very long, or the negative thoughts don't seem to be numerous enough, I guess I should say, to build up to the point where they stick around long enough to matter. So in the old versions, I would have been concerned with maybe I should be building a mist generator or something like that, and I don't think I'm going to need to bother with anything like that in the current version. It doesn't seem like there's nearly the kind of impact on mood that there used to be. Plus, we may get a couple more buildable artifacts that I can throw in the dining room, and at that point, you're going to... Everybody who passes through here passes past the dining room, pretty much. Everybody who goes to the library passes by the artifacts on the way into the library, you know, so... Aside from the new folks who are just arriving and obviously haven't had a chance to have their stress reduced, most of my folks are like negative 100,000 or better. In a minute. Let's see. So I had this sort by happiness. So let's sort this by happiness. And we'll sort it this way. So this guy here, I believe, should be the top happiness in my fort. And so this is negative 200,000 all the way down to negative 100,000, and then it'll pick up here at just under negative 100,000. So these are 43,000 there. That's easy. These are people who haven't been here that long, but they've already started to accrue the benefits of having a temple and a tavern and, you know, a nice dining room. And as we go down further, we're going to start getting into the people who are relatively new and who we just added. Stress level 0. So these folks are just now arriving. These last few set in here. 50k under is 50k negative is pretty easy to get to. Yeah, I mean, the ones who just showed up in the last migration wave, they're the ones who really haven't had a chance to dip yet. Everybody else is at least negative 50k, and that's if they're suffering from some, you know, circumstances as well. We're just behind on furniture at the moment. We need so many pieces of stone furniture. I can't make them all. I really need to set up the other workshop to do these same jobs, basically. We'll just throw some of those jobs on the other queue so that we start working through those a little faster. The quality won't be quite as high, but that's not a big deal. What we're cranking out here is primarily for the peasant set, and so if it's not the highest quality, I'm okay. I convert rivers to internal water sources. Brooks are my personal preference. I love a brook better than anything else. It's easy to access. You don't have to dig around it like you do an aquifer. It's impenetrable to attack because the surface is not permeable. So you can treat the whole thing like an internal water source. And like Cube Juggler, I prefer high savagery, but not evil. I don't like having my butchered byproducts come back to life and kill my butcher. Or perhaps my dwarves are simply too sane to want to live in an area where, you know, the food you're trying to eat can come back and kill you on a regular basis. I do like high savagery next to a necromancer tower if I can get one. Preferably a really well-populated one that will come back over and over again to lay siege. That's the kind of stuff I would really want to have. I said sane, I didn't say sober. But still no siege. Come on, goblins. I know you're neighbors to my civ. I know you're neighbors to this site. I know you're at war with us. Why won't you invade? Not that it matters, we're not ready for you yet, but, you know, I'm just, you know, it's the principle of the thing, right?